All right, hey guys, we are recording and welcome to our final call for the Diamonds in the Rough group. I am so glad that you joined this group and that you have been with us. Ooh, let me adjust. I'm a little bright. You've been with us for the past, gosh, it feels like yesterday, but it's been an amazing time and I've learned so much, and I think that's one thing that we need to know as coaches. Like, we are always in constant learning mode, and there's always going to be some way to learn how to do something better or faster or more efficient, or just in general. And that's where personal development comes into play, where it is personal. It is about you and what you need at the moment to be a better leader, a better coach, a better mom, a better spouse, a better friend, or whatever it is you're looking to do. Look, he's like so into himself. Okay, so I wanted to take this time to first congratulate you for finishing off, and then I'm going to go over the questions that we posted, and I'm sure Bianca and Nicole will have some input as well. So first, the first question is, what are you leaders doing with those that are crickets? In the case of coaches, and in the case of non-coaches, push but not so much. Do you email, Facebook tag them? How often do you check in with them? So this is a fantastic question. One of the things that I learned about coaching is you're going to have, what I've been trained on is 3 different types of people. Some coaches have like different categories, but one, you're going to have your go-getters. These are the people that are all in. They organize their time. They do the work. They're always constantly learning. They're always constantly posting. Like, they're always consistent with their message. And those are the people that are going to consistently grow. Your second type of coach is going to be the toe dipper. And the toe dipper is somebody that is like all in, and they do it for a little while, and then they kind of like back up a little bit, and they kind of dip their toe in. They run a challenge group here and there, and then they, hey Bianca, and then they get back in there. So the third type of coach is going to be your cuddle bunny. And this might be the person that joined as a discount coach, or it might be the type of person that maybe they're into coaching right now, or maybe they're going to be more into, just being around you and what you're doing. So just to go through the 3 again, you have your go-getters, you have your toe dippers, and you have your cuddle bunnies. And your cuddle bunnies want your love and attention, but it's so easy to spend all your time with them and cuddle them and love them so much. But as a business owner, you need to be spending time with your go-getters, but not letting your cuddle bunnies be off to the side. So this is where, as a leader, you decide, plan it out in a month, and maybe one Monday of the month you contact all your cuddle bunnies, and you make sure, because they still are your customers, you make sure, like, hey, is there anything I do? I have a challenge group starting next month. You can jump in it. I want you to be the rock star person in there. With your toe dippers, you can be like, hey, I'm running a group. Are you going to be running one this month? If not, you can jump in mine. Keep them in the loop. And then the same thing goes with your go-getters. This is why, as a coach right now, you should not, and this is one of my biggest mistakes, is spending more time with my coaches than I do on my own personal business. So as a 2-star diamond coach, I should only be spending 10% of my time. So that means if I'm working 10 hours of the week, only 1 hour is spent with my coaches. And so I have to be very careful on how much time that I spend doing that. I'm going to put Bianca and I next to each other so you can see us both. Look at that. All right. Bianca, do you want to go? Do you have any ways that what do you do with your coaches that are kind of quiet, crickets,
So it's funny that you were talking about this, because I was just talking about this. I have different names for them. I have my groupies, which are always with me. They're in every single challenge group. They're great referrals, but they are not true coaches. They want to do it, but then something is holding them back. So, I was that person for a really long time. So I don't force it. I don't, I don't necessarily push them. I am just there for them, kind of like Meredith was saying. I always check in with them. I make sure that they're doing okay. And what I've recently started to do with my toe dippers, which is how Meredith called them, but I call them just they're there, but they're not really there. They come and then they go. So what I've recently started doing with them is offering to do meal preps for them. And I find that a lot, like, it doesn't have to be meal preps for you, but for me, I find that a lot of people are always asking me, like, how do you do that? So I found something that I'm really good at, and I'm offering that as a service to them. And what I will do is I will bring my stuff over to their house. I will give them a list, and I'll meal prep for them. I'll make like 2 or 3, different things that, staples like brown rice and egg muffins or something like that. And then I'll make that for them, and I'll have them invite some friends that have shown some kind of interest in the challenge before. And so if those people decide to sign up, I sign them up under those coaches. So that's helping them reach Success Club. That's helping them realize, the potential behind the business. And that's also giving them a short, term commission where they can start to learn, what's the matter, Vivi? That this is a business, that they can actually make money with this. So this was something that I just started recently doing, and it's working really well. I'm finding that the coaches that I've done this for are like getting a little bit of a fire lit underneath their booties, and they're like, okay, I see, this is easy. This isn't as hard as I thought it was. And they're like working a little bit harder at it. So that's just a tip that you guys can use. And then my go-getters, they are the people whose messages I answer all the time. I don't care when they call me, 11:30 at night or whatever it is. If they need me, I'm there for them. Why? Because they're putting skin in the game. I know that they're in this as much as I am. So I'm helping them, they're helping me. So it's a two-way street. Those people always get my attention right away. Whenever they need it, I'm always there for them. So that's pretty much like how Meredith was saying, even though it's like 20% of your business, I see it in a different light. I see it in, okay, out of my 100 coaches, I have 20 that actually want this. And those are like the one that get 80% of my time. And the other 80 get and the other 80% get 20% of my time. So, you have to know where to allocate it, especially when time management's in question. If you have kids and if you have a full-time job, you really have to learn how to spend your time wisely. And of course, if you are a diamond coach, your main business, your main idea right now is to recruit working coaches. Like, there is no one single thing that you should be spending more time on than recruiting. Not one single thing. Because unless you have that big team that's with you, running with you, and bouncing, who you can bounce ideas off of, and who can help you, and who can see the big vision with you, this is going to be a really hard business to do by yourself. You're going to feel it. You're going to get defeated. You're going to, the no's are going to get to you more so than they would if you had other people that you could share your struggles with and that you can, work with. So your main idea is to build your little tribe and just to have your people who are going to lift you up when you need it, and who you are there to lift them up when they need it. So it's a community thing. It's all a family thing. Like, if you have those people, you're golden. Quitting is not going to become an option, because you're not going to want to disappoint them, and they're counting on you. So that at that point, when you can make this where quitting is not an option, that's when you're good to go. Like, that's when your business is going to start. Right, Vivi?
So our next one is, how often throughout the day do you check Streak, or through the week? So that my number one thing that I do every single morning is follow up with emails. And that, because right now at this area in my life, I have 2 little ones, like a lot of us here. And some of us, have full-time jobs. So we're always busy, but that's the one activity that I know I can get done. That's going to be the most important thing that's going to be moving me forward. So I do that every single morning. And then 3 or 4 times a week, I have blocked out like 2 hours where I don't have children. I shut off my cell phone, and I just invite, like, through email. I have my applications going out through the week, and so I'm just like boom, 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 and that's all I do during those blocks of time. And I have like 3 of those a week right now in this stage of my life. In a couple months, it's going to be a little bit different. What do you do, Bianca?
I do the same thing. The first thing I do in the mornings is just go through my messages and respond to everybody. I don't really work off my email so much, but I have my streak for foot tracking. So I do go through there and see who needs a follow up message. Or I'll tell you guys this. I just posted this on my team page. My business, like 80% of the close is done on the follow up. I will send them a link, and they will sit there with that link in their inbox. And unless I message them and I say, hey, are you still interested? Like, I'm about to give up your spot. I didn't see that your order went through yet. Did you have a problem? Like, did you have, I know the website's a little hard to navigate. Did something happen? Because I was saving you a spot. That's when I get my close. Like, it's never when I send, like, very rarely do they, like, just go, oh, you sent me a link, let me go purchase that. Like, that never happens. So if you send somebody a message, a link, or whatever, they're interested, immediately for me, their name goes on a whiteboard, so I do not forget about them. Like, that's immediate. Like, the minute that they say, yes, I'm doing this, their name goes up on my whiteboard. And their name stays there all month until they purchase. Unless they tell me, no, I'm not doing it, their name does not leave there. And so I keep just checking back with them. And obviously, there's a good way to do this and a bad way to do it. If you keep nudging them and nagging them like a mom would, then yeah, of course, they're going to tune you out. You're not going to respond. So, my personal way is just saying, hey, obviously, the first follow-up that I send is just like, did you forget? I'm about to give up your spot, blah, blah, blah. They don't respond to that, then I'll send them another one that will say, hey, hopefully I didn't say something to offend you. I see that you still, like, I will just put it on me. Like, I know how life gets crazy and blah, blah, blah. Maybe you just didn't see it, but I just don't want to leave it on the table. Like, did I do something wrong? That always gets their attention. Or did I say something wrong, And if that doesn't work, then my last follow-up is usually just like, hold on, let me put this baby on the floor. And then I'll send them a final follow-up just saying, hey, maybe this isn't the right time for you. Maybe something came up and you're not able to do this right now, but I want to help you either way. So I have a free group that's going to start on such date. Do you want to just go into that? So I never leave it on the table. Or maybe I'll send up like, do you want a free meal plan or something like that? But I never just leave it where they're like dropped off the face of the earth. Like, I keep following up until I get an answer for them. And either they go in the free group or they tell me plain out, I don't want anything to do with you, crazy lady, stop messaging me. Or, they will purchase challenge pack. But there's only 3 solutions. It just doesn't just stay up in the air. So.
Right. No, follow-up is key. I totally agree. And I think, but one of the things, like, I just had like 2 emails come in from things that I sent out this morning, but I don't check them until tonight, my scheduled time to do it, because otherwise I'm over here and I'm over there and I'm like, I'm something shiny. So in order for me to be an organized, business owner, I need to just have that focused time of when I do it. And so that's, important. Okay. So the next question is, compared to what Facebook group pages have today to offer, like Facebook Live, are you getting the same focus and challenge tracker to train your coaches in case you're using it? And how do you organize the files and the trainings nowadays? So right now, I am still, to train my coaches, I am still using Facebook groups. And I'm going to start, I do have a couple main groups. So I have one that is like an ongoing, that I just started doing, an ongoing Facebook group. So I use the challenge group tracker for my challengers. And I tell them the app is where it's at. If there's one thing that you can do, please log into the app, because this will help me coach you and help me know where you're at. The ongoing group that I have is like a challenge group, but I'm only in there live right now 3 times a week. And I just started doing that a few weeks ago because Facebook Live is so new. And then as far as my team page, I have a team. I hate to even call it a team call, but it's like a team, whatever. It's a live video that my husband and I run on Wednesday nights. So, and we've been doing that since Facebook Live. You could go into groups and doing that, which is only a few weeks old. We used to do videos on Tuesday. My husband and I used to do videos on Tuesday for our team. So I think the moral of the story is, plan as a good business owner. And if you follow Trina Gray, she is a fantastic business owner. She's opened up gyms in little, like, no areas of upper Michigan. And like, there's the population of 1,000 people and the highest income bracket is $19,000, So, but this girl is a multi-million-dollar business owner. And the reason is because she's smart. She listens to what her business needs and pays attention to that. So for instance, you might start doing something because somebody taught you, like, oh, you should do this for your team and do this. And on each day of the week, do something different. Well, you do that for a few months and then all of a sudden your team's not responding. So what does your team need? And kind of, being able to adjust. So I try to plan my team out, and my team calls on a quarterly basis. So I kind of know what to expect for the quarter. So for instance, I started doing power hours this quarter, and I'm going to continue doing them for my team. But I asked them, like, what would be more helpful? Like, is every day overwhelming, or do you just want a video to follow along, or what would be the most beneficial? We just do this one time a week together, or what's going to be the best? So I think it's important to just know that as a business owner that you're going to consistently change and just to adjust to the leadership that your team needs at the moment. And then another question that we had asked was, you guys ran an excellent program together. I'm sure everyone in this group appreciates your efforts and training and support. I did. I'd love to know your must follows are within the company to get good ideas and perspective. So if you mean following top coaches, you can always follow the top 10, which is good to know. But you know what I like to do, and I think the National Wake Up Call does a really good job at this, is I always listen to that call every single week. Even if it's a coach that's been a coach for years or a coach that's been a coach for a couple months and they've seen success, they do a really good job at highlighting all different types of coaches, stay-at-home mom, full-time coaches, coaches that are working full-time jobs, coaches that are in the military. And so one thing that I know about Beachbody is to learn stories. So when I'm talking to somebody, I can go, oh yeah, I know a coach like that, that's just like you, that started off doing X, Y, and Z. And she was a school teacher just like you. And she was this just like you. So I can learn stories about Beachbody, about other coaches, and share those stories. So the one thing that I do every single week is not to get caught up in the news feeds of who's posting what and what I should be posting. It's to learn the stories of Beachbody. And I do that once a week with the National Wake Up Call, and I also listen to the podcast, so I can go back and listen to stuff too.
That's a great tip. I do kind of like what you do. I try to just find people who I identify with. I can follow Melanie all I want. She's like my upline, but she's not me. Like, we are not, like, I would never attract the kind of coach that Mel does. So for me, like, I follow people who I identify with, like Ali Upham, or, people who are not necessarily, like, she's not a mom and she's not necessarily like me, but our personalities are very much alike. Like, I've had so many people tell me when they meet her, they're like, oh my gosh, this girl's just like you. So that triggers something in my brain and says, like, okay, so the person that follows Ali would probably follow me as well. So I kind of like watch her and I see what she posts, and I draw a lot of my ideas from what she posts, because I know it works for her, so it would probably work for me too. So finding people that, like, you identify with, that is a big tip. If you don't know, then it's a good idea to ask your upline or somebody else in the business and just say, do you know any coaches that you think I should be following? I know I always do this for my coaches. I'm like, you need to follow so-and-so and so-and-so, because I can see it. That's a good idea. I love that National Wake Up Call one, though, because I do that too. Like, I never thought to give that tip to coaches, but I do the same thing. Like, I pick up on their little stories, and I just like, oh, I know what this is. And I know, like, when somebody mentions it to me, and I'm like, oh, I know a coach that did just this. So yeah, knowing stories is a big one, not just with coaches, but also with challengers, just knowing, like, what people struggle with, and just being able to relate them to that, like, a success story. That's huge.
Awesome. So moving forward, I think, a lot of times we started training and, or for instance, a fitness program. I'm like in the middle of my 3rd fitness program, and I'm not, all my baby weight's not gone, but it will be. It will be. So that's, I think, just like fitness, we need to treat our businesses just like a program. We need to constantly be doing it. We need to constantly be learning stuff. We need to constantly be following the formula. I mean, there's a reason why our programs are the best and they work. And it's because it's a formula. And so the same thing with being a coach, it's a formula, and the formulas are all there. It's just the different types of people that are latching on and doing it and making a part of their life. So I think that, you know, it's important to get into another training group, be an independent business. If you need the accountability, start your own group with your coaches and say, hey guys, we're going to do the Coach Basics training the first 2 weeks. Does anybody want to do it with me? We're going to hold each other accountable for the next 2 weeks, just like a challenge group. So there's no harm in doing that. There's trainings that's created for you. When I started as a coach, we didn't have this. We didn't have Facebook groups. We didn't have Zoom. We didn't have other coaches that we could partner up with and train our teams with. Like, there was none of that. And now we have access to all of that. Questions, comments, concerns? We have 4 minutes.
I think also going, I don't know about you, Meredith, but like I can plug my coaches into like one of Melanie's trainings, or, you know, just finding a success partner and just getting that discipline of like always learning. You need to always be searching, looking. If you haven't gone through the back office yet, maybe you're like a new Emerald coach, or, you know, you haven't done the Emerald training that's in the back office. That's a really, really awesome place to start. Like, they invested a lot of money into those trainings. And so go back there. That's a really awesome resource. Go back through groups, and then, you know what, reach out to your upline. And we struggle as uplines. You guys have no idea. Like, knowing what to offer you, like what's going to be most helpful. Like, we can sit here and think, you know, oh, where are they, and what do I think they need? And, you know, our idea of what you need may be completely off. And everybody's in such different places in their business, it's really hard for us to put together a training and say, okay, you're all going to go in here, you know? So reach out to your upline and let them know, like, I really need help with posting. Like, I feel like my posts suck. Can you go through my page and can you give me some pointers? And I don't know an upline that would say no. So, you know, whatever it is that you feel you struggle with the most, like, obviously it takes some, like, you know, soul searching. You're going to need to look into your business and say, okay, this is what I need. Just like recently I did some soul searching. I was like, you know what? I think I could be a better leader. I feel like, you know, sometimes I talk and I sound like a broken record, and that my coaches, it goes in one ear and it comes out the other, you know, and sometimes that's just me. I mean, maybe my own perspective. But I went back to my team and I said, can you guys help me? Like, how can I be a better leader? And I put together a little assessment and I sent it to them and I said, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? So you should be thinking the same way, you know, always be like looking to perfect, to get better, to move forward, to, you know, whatever it is a little bit that you could do a little bit better, it's going to grow you and it's going to help you. So that's one advice that I could give.
All right. Well, I'm going to, the rest of this week, I'll open up the live power hour. I put the schedule up, so it'll just be the phone number. I mean, feel free to jump on, or, you know, hold yourself accountable, get your power hour done through there. But I think, you know, I don't want to speak for Bianca and Nicole, but I am so thrilled that you guys did this. And I know a lot of it could have been scary things and maybe stuff that got you out of your comfort zone. I honestly believe when there's growth, there's pain. You have to go through pain. And I don't mean like, oh, it was hard. You know, of course it's hard, but like, you know what? I'm freaking losing 50 pounds right now. That's going to be hard. That's going to be really hard. And I got this one and I got the other one, you know, I mean, it's a new part of my life. I know I'm going to do it, and it's going to be hard, and I'm going to have hard days and good days. Same thing goes to your business. Okay. You want to talk now? So I think it's just constantly knowing that you're doing the right thing. And I will say this, your loyalty and your persistency will show over time. I just signed up a few coaches this past week that are like, I've been watching you. I've been following you for a while. I've always wanted to do this. Like, I didn't even know they were following me, and they decided to sign up with me because they resonated with me. So be that person for somebody else.
Yep. Just if you stay consistent, they know where to find you. But you need to stay consistent, because if you disappear, they're going to be like, oh, maybe she's not doing it anymore. Let me go to someone else. It's going to be that one day. It's going to be that one time their pants don't fit. It's going to be that one time where they see their bank account in the red. It's going to be that one time. It's when they're ready. I made a post about this yesterday, because they say, oh, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. If the horse isn't thirsty, there is no water you're going to offer in the world that's going to make that horse drink. So when that horse is thirsty, you need to be there in their face, in their Facebook newsfeed, in their message thread. You need to be that person that didn't give up on them. You need to be that person that's always there, that they know they can count on no matter what happens. They know you're not going to disappear next week. You've always been consistent, because that's what you're creating. You're creating trust when you're consistent. People learn to see, they know to expect that you're going to be there. That's what you want. That's this 3-5 times a day. What's that about? That's what that's about. It's just letting them know that you're there. You're going to be there a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. They want to know that. The only way you're going to be able to translate that over Facebook is by being consistent.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for so much for all the input. I missed your the very beginning, but I'll rewatch, I guess.
Yeah, I'll post the recording
That's
probably
fine.
sometime this afternoon.
Oh my
I
God.
think what happens a lot is that we get, not only like new coaches, but older coaches. We get so wrapped up to like, what other coaches are doing, and we're all in different phases. So I think it's a matter, to like often, like I find myself and also passing on to my team is just like, what is your need, and just focus on that one thing, which is completely fine. And, it takes a while for you to actually like, recognize even that, or even find what you need to be working on. So, it can be very demanding, but, in the end, of course, you have the results, which is really good. So thank you for your input. Thank you, Bianca.
All right, guys, we'll close off our call. Thank you guys for jumping on. I'll post the recording, and we'll close out the group later on this week, but feel free to ask any questions and share. This is the last final week to do so.
Jason, I love your helmet.
Yeah. Good job.
He's adorable. You guys are all adorable. Your kids all over.
So easy. It's so much easier once you get kids. So much.
Allie just hit the macaroni and cheese box and opened the envelope of cheddar cheese all over my kitchen. She was eating it. There was like a bunch of it in her mouth.
Tips. I'll write down the tips.
That's my
All right. Bye, y'all.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you next time.
See you.